Hey guys, welcome to another 5-minute design, and today we're going to be doing some packaging design for hot sauce bottles. So these are the bottles we're going to be working with right here, and whenever I do packaging design, if I have a mock-up to work with, I always like to design on top of that mock-up. Gives you the most realistic view of the product that you can get, and that helps you make better decisions. So the idea is to come up with a design for each one of these bottles that's consistent across all of them, but still gives each one their own personality. So of course, these bottles could have a paper wrapping around them, and we could design on top of that. But I don't think that's the route I want to go. Instead, let's try a design printed straight onto the glass. That way we can get the maximum view of the product possible, which I think is always a good thing. So I looked around on the internet and found some of the world's hottest peppers, and I assigned each one of those to a bottle of hot sauce. And that's what we're going to say that particular sauce is made of. As far as branding goes, you see a lot of hot sauce bottles that do things way over the top, and I want to pull back from that a bit and do something a little more playful. So I'm thinking something very doodly, to where the main focus of each bottle is an illustration that captures the pepper it's made from. So just to get a layout for our bottles, I'm going to go ahead and lay down some wireframes. Here's where I imagine our illustration will go on each bottle, right in the center, fairly large so it's easy to see. And right underneath the illustrations are going to be the names of the peppers, which means that the logo is going to go in this trapezoidal section on top of each bottle. And when you're making designs for multiple products like this, you want certain things to be consistent, like the placement of the logo and the name of the ingredients. That way people can easily compare the products. The thing that's going to be different between each of these bottles is going to be this illustration, and even though it's going to be different, it's still located in the same place on each bottle. So let's go ahead and start focusing on one of these bottles and begin fleshing out our design. The first thing I think we should tackle is this logo, as that's going to set the tone for our entire brand and the packaging. I think I have a fairly clever name for this, and that is Stop and Drop Hot Sauce. Because if you're on fire, the first thing you do is stop, drop, and roll. So it's kind of a play on that. And you could also see it as stop and put a drop of this on your food. Maybe it's clever, maybe it's not, but that's what we're going to go with. So we're trying to go for that kind of hand-sketched illustrative style for this. So I'm going to find a base font that gets us close to that, and then we can customize it some. Here's a handful of fonts that I found. I thought these might work pretty good for this, but we obviously have to eliminate them down to one option. Out of these, my favorites are probably this one, and this one. I like our logo to fit really well within this trapezoid shape, so I think we could try breaking up these words into 3 different lines: stop, in, and then drop. So in that layout, I can already see this font is going to be a little too tall, so I'm just going to eliminate it right now. And out of these 2 options, I think this one has more of an illustrative feel. This has too many sharp corners for me, so this is going to be our font of choice. Now we can make some adjustments to help get that logo to fit more into that trapezoid shape. I'm going to start by making this in smaller because it's not really the prominent thing in the logo. Then we're going to increase the size of this drop. And just scoot things together a little bit better. And to fill in this blank space here, we could put in some little waves as a separator, and it also mimics the flow of hot sauce. Now I think we need to modify this D because it looks too much like the O's. So I'm just going to sharpen up the corners some. Now we still need to put the word hot sauce underneath here. I want some visual separation between the main part of the logo and just this hot sauce word, so I'm going to try putting this inside of a box. For a quick logo, I think that turned out pretty good. I made the name of the hot sauce the same font as our logo, and we'll also need some text on the front of the bottle that states how much hot sauce is actually contained within it. Let's go ahead and see what we can do with our illustration now. I'm thinking the illustration will be entirely based on the name of the hot sauce, so in this case, Dragon's Breath, we're going to have a dragon here. I'm going to do some doodling and see what I can come up with. So here's a basic outline of the dragon. It's fairly rough right now, but I feel like it's a pretty good base. So now I'm just gonna clean that up. I think overall that matches the style of our logo really well. I kept the dragon mainly solid, that way it would draw a lot of attention, and the breath I left mainly as outlines, partially because it looks more like smoke that way, and I didn't want to make it solid to interfere with the silhouette of the dragon. So now I'm just going to copy our branding to these other bottles. I did change a few of the bottle names just to make them a little more succinct. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the illustrations for each of these other bottles. Alrighty, so that's got the illustrations all finished up. I think these all turned out pretty good. They definitely matched the style that I was going for. One last thing I'd like to add is just some indication of how hot each of these sauces are, at least in relation to each other. So maybe we can make some type of heat meter and place it somewhere along the necks of these bottles. So here, I just made a stack of 4 different flames, and the number of flames each bottle gets represents how hot it is. So I just put that heat indication right above each flame. It's kind of cool. It gives us the stair-step effect, so the hotter we get, the higher the flames go. I'm gonna make the heat index text a little bit smaller, because I don't want it to be the same size as the name of our hot sauces. I think that has better hierarchy, and really you should be able to tell by the flames how hot things are. The text is just a little indication to make things more clear. Well guys, here's what we ended up with. It's a really fun design, and I don't think you see this type of branding on hot sauce that much. So I think in a store setting, this would definitely stand out. If you like these kind of videos, I've got several more right here for you to watch. Please leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you think about this, what would you have done differently, and most importantly, which of these sauces would you be most willing to try? If you haven't subscribed already, I hope you do that. I've got a lot more of these videos coming, and please let me know what types of design projects you guys want me to do. I'm happy to give anything a shot. You can find all the assets used in this video linked in the description, so you can check those out if you want. And once again, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time.